So you remember from last week that we're running through mobility drills, working on mobility and flexibility, full body stretches and a little foam rolling, and then we're running through our strength and stamina work. So we've got 4 body work exercises we'll start with, and then we'll move on to our higher intensity stuff, and we'll ramp it up and switch gears. So we're going to actually start on the foam roller, and we're going to hit our shoulders, our anterior delts, and a little bit of pecs. So let's hop down on the ground and let's start roll. I'm going to start rolling my right shoulder, and here's what you're going to do. Knees on the ground, hips up in the air. Put the foam roller, kind of angle it on one side of you. Bring your right shoulder down onto the roller, and we're going to shimmy your butt back and forth. And by doing so, you're rolling up and down the front of your delts. Anterior delts really can use some love when it comes to foam rolling. Foam rollers are great for the shoulders, and in my opinion, most anybody's anterior delts are overworked, a lot of times overdeveloped, used and abused, and might have some adhesions, some scar tissue built up. Maybe you do a lot of push-ups, a lot of dips, a lot of chest flies. All good reasons to foam roll your delts. Again, try to get as much weight as you can downward onto your delts. I'm going to go and switch sides. Swing it over to the left side. Alright, now I'm putting as much weight as I can on my left shoulder. Now my hand is just right down by my thigh or my calf. Kind of, don't just roll with it, but kind of rock with it too. Kind of rock with it in an arching motion. That way you can get all the way up to the superior part of your anterior delt by your acromion process, and then all the way down to the inferior part of your anterior delts near your biceps and your pecs. A couple more rolls here. All right. Now, let's hop up, grab your band, and we're going to go into some of our squat dislocates. We did squat dislocates last week, but this week we're going to go right into some squat around the world dislocates. So let's have our band in front of us. Make your way down into your deepest squat, and what we're going to do is one revolution, one direction. See, my whole body kind of rocks and sways. One revolution in the other direction. And then let's come up out of that squat. Let's do that 5 times. So I'm going to switch directions first. I like to switch it up so I'm not always getting used to doing the same stuff in the same way. See, we're still doing the same stuff, but not exactly in the same way. It's kind of a common theme we have, isn't it? We like to brush our teeth with our non-dominant hands up in this quad. Maybe under special circumstances, you might even be eating your food with your non-dominant hand. Shout out to Susan. I'm going to get one more for good measure. That's actually going to give us a little extra here. And you notice how tough it is to get this band around you to circumduct your body down in your squat. And primarily, you might see that your shoulders are the limiting factor mobility-wise. Do you think there's a reason why we did the foam rolling on your shoulders before that? Could be, could be. Okay, we're starting to put the pieces together. Things make sense. We're back down on the foam roller. Now we're hitting our hip flexors. Right into hip crease of our hips. Again, this is single-sided. So I'm going to kind of angle myself forward and down. I'm putting all my weight right on my hip crease on my left hip. And you see I'm using my other leg in front of me, hands, elbows on the ground. And I'm not moving a lot. We're not hitting quadriceps. We're not hitting the IT band. We're kind of in the middle at a 45-degree angle. And you only have to shimmy up and down a little bit. Shimmy up and down a little bit, right on that hip crease. And get as much weight as you can on there. Now let's rock back and forth. So instead of rolling up and down, rock and roll front to back. So changing planes of motion here might make you wince a little bit, but just breathe through it. That's the best thing you can do when you're foam rolling. Relax and breathe. Get a couple more rolls for good measure here. All right, let's flip it over. And remember, we're not facing downward all the way. We're not facing sideways directly. We're angling downward. Putting as much weight as possible right there on the hip crease. Now, if this makes you wince a little bit, if putting a lot of pressure from a foam roller is unbearable for you right here on the hip crease on your hip flexors, chances are they need it. I'm going to roll back and forth. Now, you might say, well, Matt, that's how everything feels all the time when I hit the foam roller. Yeah, you need a lot of work. You need a lot of maintenance work. That's like saying, oh man, look how black my oil is. Oh, but when did you change it? 30,000 miles ago? Well, yeah, you need to do it. You need to do it more often. All right. Also, chances are you might sit a lot. If you're at a computer, if you're in a car a lot, hip flexors get tight very easily. All right, let's hop back up. Now we're going to be doing our lunge dislocates. Now, I'll step sideways for you. We're going to take a big step forward. We're going to shift forward and down, but we're not putting our back knee on the ground. We're just getting a big stretch in the trail leg here. And then we've got our dislocate up and over. I'm going to stand up, turn around, switch legs. Oh, that's the same leg, switch legs. So remember, shift forward and down. Get yourself a good calf stretch in the back leg, good quadricep stretch, and of course, a good hip flexor stretch. Give it a couple dislocates over and back. There's 3. Step it on forward, switch legs again. You might notice we just foam rolled those hip flexors, and now we are challenging their capability to lengthen and stretch within this lunge dislocate. I can tell you from my experience, when I do a simple foam roll, quick minute on a foam roller for any given muscle group before I put that muscle group into action, then things go a lot smoother and feel a lot better. All right, good. All right, we're back at the top. Let's foam roll those shoulders again because we get to do it again. Second time is what I look forward to, because first time you're kind of working out the kinks, still stiff, still tired, still cold. Now our core body temperature's up a little bit more. I'm going to start with my left shoulder and kind of angle it in front of you. My foam roller, when I'm looking down at it, is angled from about 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And so I'm rolling up and down, but the foam roller is angled at about 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Make sure those hips are up high when you're doing this. Hips are up, weight is shifting down, and rock into a roll up and down, but also kind of rock on your shoulder like a seesaw or like a boat. And you'll notice that rocking motion, let's switch sides, helps you get the full length of the head of your anterior delts. And ultimately, when it comes to any mobility or body work stuff, you got to just feel what you're doing. So ignore the pain, breathe through it, ignore the tenderness, and really think to yourself, does it feel like I'm really working out the kinks, or I'm finding the kinks that I need to work out? All right, hop on up and we're going to go back into our squat dislocates. I'm going to mute you guys. And yes, I am recording with my phone right now. Put that on the private YouTube list that only you get to see. So although most of my videos only have a few views, there's a reason why these ones only have a few views, because you're the only ones who get to see them. Both directions. Now I'm going to add a little bit, you might have noticed. Come on up. I'm going to add a little bit more swaying, a little more lateral flexion in my trunk here. Spinal flexion side to side, which actually helps me stretch my lats a little bit more. Oh, stretch my obliques and my serratus. Really, if I keep my feet planted, I can feel it stretching all the way to my TFL, which is kind of down by your hip flexors on the side of your body. All right, last one. Oh, yeah. All right, let's hit that foam roller again on the hip flexors. So let me show you. It's a big opportunity. Let me show you the TFL. And I'm actually getting a little heated here. So we're going to get down in our same position here. Now we were angled forward and downward a little bit more. Now roll sideways, and now your hip bone is here. I'm above the hip bone. I'm between the crest of my hip and my hip bone right there in that meaty pocket. And so you see I'm rolling up and down on my TFL right now, which is again in between your hip crest, iliac crest, and in between your actual hip bone. It's only a few inches, maybe 4, 5, 6 inches. You don't need to move much. We're directly sideways now, and you feel how there's a difference there. Hip flexors are more in the front, TFL is more on the side. Now let's roll front to back, which for me, honestly, rolling front to back is what I really like to do on the TFL, which is a muscle that is heavily responsible for a lot of lower back pain and a lot of chronic hip pain. A lot of people have very tight TFLs amongst other muscles. All right, let's switch sides, which contributes a lot to hip pain. If you see someone wobbling around, not walking very smoothly, again, I'm gonna start sideways, rolling up and down. See someone walking around, hobbling around. There might be a lot of things going on. It's usually not one thing, but tight TFLs can contribute heavily to offset hips, offset gaits, walking patterns, tight lower backs. Alright, I'm rolling front to back. Does it make you wince a little bit? Does it make you grit your teeth? Try to relax, but also that's simply an indication that you need it, that you're getting something out of it. And it doesn't always feel that bad. If you've got good healthy muscles, free from lots of adhesions and supple muscles, really does not hurt when you get on the foam roller. It's still beneficial. All right, let's go into our lunge dislocates. This time I'm going to take backward steps. I'm going to step backwards, I'm going to shift forward, and I'm going to do a little side bend towards my front leg. See whichever leg is in front. Step forward, step backwards, bend to the front leg, to the side of the front leg, this should actually help intensify the stretch along your rear thigh and your rear hip flexors. What also helps improve the stretch of your hip flexors a lot is squeezing your butt. Clench your glutes on your trail leg side, whichever leg is behind you. Flex your butt, and you should instantly feel the hip flexors stretch more effectively. It's a little trick that you can do on a lot of stretches and a lot of strength exercises even, to help activate the reciprocating muscle by flexing the antagonistic muscle. All right, let's get one more. All right. We'll take a sip of coffee. Boy, doing body work feels great. And at the end of the day, improving your range of motion, it's a prerequisite. You gotta have the requisite range of motion to even do stuff and have fun. So, doesn't mean you can't do what you can do, but it helps. We're gonna go right into our exercises. What we've got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Oh, well, we skipped the world's greatest stretch. We're gonna do that right now. How did I do that? Let's go into our world's greatest stretch, because I don't want you to miss out on that. Come on back down onto your mat. I'm gonna take a long kneeling lunge stance, hand on the ground. I'm gonna make a big shoulder circle, and then while I'm down here, I'm gonna switch my feet. Now, I certainly appreciate the foam rolling we did on our hips and the squat and lunge dislocates that we did, because I can tell you right now, I'm able to go into this much deeper, much smoother, feels a lot better, and I'm actually opening my hips up much more than I typically do. Look at that. It's like I'm a gymnast. It's like I'm doing the splits from front to back. Thank you, hip flexor and TFL foam rolling. No stretch left behind. We certainly don't want to take these out. Get one more. That's one more on each side, so one more now. There's a lot of different ways to do world's greatest stretch. That's kind of a general stretch. It's called world's greatest stretch. That could be debatable, but it is very good, and you can do a lot of different variations of it. All right, we're going to go right into our 5 exercises. We're going to do the same things as last week, only we're going to go in a different order, so you experience them at different levels of fatigue. So that way the first thing's not always the freshest, and the last thing's not always most tired. And we'll do slightly different variations of some of them. So we're going to go ahead and start with our band press reverse lunges. This was our last exercise last time. Now it's our first exercise. So band press reverse lunges. Grab your band. Loop it around your back. We're going to start by stepping back with the left or the right leg. So step back into your reverse lunge. Press up at an incline, upward. Step forward, step back, press upward. See, this is an incline press. And I'm stepping back with the right leg on every single rep, because this first set of 12 is for our left leg, which means we're stepping back with the right leg. 6, press upward. Think about 30-degree angle upward, and when you press upward, bring your hands all the way together in front of you. Touch your fists together at the finish, the completion, and the extension of your press, because that full extension and adduction, the adduction of your shoulders, is what helps you flex your pecs the best and activate your triceps. Now I'm switching legs, stepping back with the left leg, pressing downward. Now it's a decline chest press. We're going 12 reps. Stepping back with the left leg, leaning forward, and downward onto the right leg. Press downward. Now we're not just facing and tilting downward, pressing downward relative to the angle of our torso. Lean your weight onto your front leg. If you step back, you load your front leg. Oh yeah. When you really bring those fists together like you're trying to draw your elbows together, you feel your pecs clench more. You're trying to make some cleavage. That's how you know you're getting the best pec flex on a press. Make the cleavage. All right, now let's go into our dumbbell T raises. Oh, we did those second last time too. Let's continue to go in reverse order. We're going to double up with the split stance, and we're going to do our split squat 10 and 2s. Remember these? 10 and 2s. We've got a weight. We're going to maintain a split squat stance. I'm going to start with my left leg in front. I'm going to start with my kettlebell over here at 2 o'clock compared to my tippy toes. I've got a long staggered stance. I'm coming down, but keeping my back knee off the ground. Reach across, twist, put it over here. Reach across, twist, put it over there. How about that? We put it over here, and we put it back over there. This is not what we're good at doing. Picking things up and putting them back down. My legs are already burning, and I'm only 3 reps in. I'm going to continue to do 8 reps, same as last time. We're not increasing the volume today because there's room for improvement, I believe, for all of us. We can get a little deeper. We can twist a little further. We can move the weight a little further distance. We can keep our balance a little better. We can control our breath a little better. Get your 8 reps in. Those are much tougher than they look. That's our sleeper exercise there. It's a lot harder than it looks. All right, switch your feet. This time I'm starting the kettlebell at 10 o'clock on the inside of my right foot. Long staggered stance. Coming down. Maintain that squat, or that lunge. Actually, this is called a split squat. Technically, it's a squat because it's not a lunge unless you're moving forward or backwards. We're just staying down in our squat. Breathe now. Breathe through it. Move that kettlebell a little further, Leslie. Stagger your stance front to back a little more. Staggered stance. Your stance should be at about 12 and 2, roughly. We'll say 12, 30, or 12 and 6. But what I was going to say is we'll say 12, 30, and 6:30 to keep your feet side to side for a little more stability. Oh my Lord, that burns like crazy. Whew, I really like the stability aspect of that. Being in a split stance front to back, twisting side to side, and stabilizing with your ankles, knees, and hips. All right, so let's hit our band pull lunges now. Band pull lunges. The opposite of our chest press lunges. So grab your band in front of you. For this first set, we're going to do an X pull, diagonally one way, diagonally the other way. Lots of lunges today. How about this? Check it out. Step forward and to the right. Diagonal lunge, X pull at the bottom. Diagonal lunge. I did an X pull both directions. That's 2 band pulls at the bottom. I'm not gonna lie, doing the diagonal lunge came to me 4 seconds ago when we started, but I figured we just did reverse lunges and split squats, which are both front to back stances, and adding a little bit of a strafing motion in here, side to side motion, is going to give our hips, our ankles, our knees, our hip adductors and abductors a different experience here. So pivot the back foot to follow the front foot. You see I'm alternating here, everybody, we already know that. Alternating side to side. Get yourself a nice hip stretch by strafing about 30 degrees one way or the other. Get your 12 reps in. Get your 12 reps. I got 2 more. All right, good. Oh, that feels good. 12 is enough for round 1. We might increase that, change up the ratio of band pulls to lunges. We'll see. And next, we're going to go into our dumbbell T raises. I don't have a dumbbell, but I got a weight plate, and weight's weight, so I'm golden. Here we go. We're down in our side plank. I'm gonna go left side down first. Got the weight in my hand on the ground, elbow down, feet stacked, hips up, lift, look up, put it down. Let's follow the weight with your head. Look up, look down. Rotate your shoulders, open up, rotate down and close. Rotate and open. Ooh, I almost fell backwards, and close. If you fall backwards, it's all good. This means you're doing a great job of stacking your shoulders and hips. There's 7. I'm gonna go to 8. Last week we went to 6. Today we're doing 8. All right, switch it around, switch sides. Remember, every time you lift the weight up, also press your elbow down. Lift the weight up to press your elbow down. Press your elbow down to lift the weight up. Recommit to lifting your hips off the ground with every raise. The hips will tend to sag, so lift them on up. Push the side of your foot into the ground. Stack your shoulders, reach up. Remember, shoulders face down, then shoulders face sideways. Shoulders face down, shoulders face sideways. Breathe. One more, get your 8 reps. Get your 8 reps. Oh yeah, those are good. You know, I haven't done T raises in a long time before this cycle, and I forget how great they are for shoulder health, for stability. Your shoulder's like a joystick, and now we're turning sideways and stabilizing your body in that frontal plane of motion. That's super good for your rotator cuff muscles. All right, we're going into our halo squats now. So grab your slam ball, dumbbell, kettlebell, and get ready for some squat action. All right, weights in front of you like a goblet squat. Come on down. 2 circles, one in one direction, and reverse it, then come on up. If you don't keep your feet flat, that's fine, because as you move around, one or the other heel might move up a little bit. That's fine. This is not a heavy back squat, and although we are trying to keep our feet flat, it's okay if they're not flat. That's 4. I'm going to take it to 10. Let's get 10. Speed the pace up a little bit. 5. Breathe. There's 6. There's 7. Stretch down in that squat. Let your weight help push you down into the squat. 8. Feels good, looks good, feels good. Oh my God, 10. Okay, nicely done. Get ready to go right back into the top of things. I just need a quick sip. All right. Oh, it's so good. It's so wet. All right. So, we're starting with our band, press, reverse lunges. So grab your band and let's have a ball. I'm going to go alternating lunges this time, and I'm also going to go alternating incline and decline. So lunge back, press up, lunge back, other foot, press down. Speed it up. Get 20 reps total. fast set. Here we go. Step back, press up. Switch legs. Step back, press down. Step back, press up. Step back, press down. Remember, we step back, but we lean forward. Just because you're stepping back doesn't mean you're leaning onto your back leg. That's hard on your back knee. We step back, but we load the front leg. Really differentiate your decline and your incline a little bit more. Everybody, press up a little more. Press down a little more. Oh. Oh, getting hard. One more. Get your 20. I know you're not at 20. I've started before you. Get your 20. I'll wait for you. Ooh. Recovery breaths. Okay. We've got our split squat 10 and 2s coming right up. We know and love them. So let's get you ready with your weight in front of you. I'm going to start with my right foot in front this time. Long staggered stance at 12:30 and 6:30. And here we go. Squat down, twist, put it over there. Twist, put it back. Twist, put it over there. Twist, put it back. Breathe. Twist your shoulders. Don't just reach with your arms. Twist your shoulders from your belly button to your mid-back, to your thoracic, upper back, cervical, your head. We want the spinal rotation. We love the spinal rotation. Get your 8 reps in. Oh my Lord. Oh, it's so hard. So hard. Okay. Okay, let's set it on it. Left leg is in front. Boy, these are killer for me. All right, coming on down. Reach, put it over there. Reach, put it back over there. Your weight, and mostly in your front leg. Twist. Emphasize the twist. Get your back knee down a little bit more. Oh, get your 8. I know you're not there. Get your 8. Oh, I started before you. I'm going faster than you. Get your 8. Faster isn't better, but not gonna lie, I was excited to get done with those. Oh yeah, it's a great isometric-esque lower body split squat. Okay, let's go into our band pull lunges. So let's stick with our X pulls and let's speed these up a little bit. Forward lunges. Here we go. Overhand grip. Step with me. Step. Crisscross. Crisscross. Push. Step. Crisscross. Crisscross. Push. Step. Crisscross. Crisscross. Push. Step. Lean forward. Oh. 5. 6. Let's get 16. 7. That's going to be 8 on each leg. 8. Breathe. Recommit to your breath. It's the best thing you can do. We're working lower body, upper body, and core. A lot of demand for airflow. Breathe. Try to slow your breath down. It's uncomfortable, right? That's a good thing. Breathing steady and staying steady with your deep airflow as much as possible for any exercise is of just about half the challenge. And it really dictates how effective your workout is. Almost there. Get 2 more. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right, we've got our. We're gonna switch the order. I want to do the halo squats next, because I want to finish with those dumbbell T raises because I like them more. And today, I want to be happier when we finish. So grab your slam ball and let's hit these halo squats. Halo squats. Let's speed it up and only go 1 halo per squat. Squat, halo, stand up. Squat, halo, stand up. 2. Squat, halo, stand up. 3. Head up, chest up. Open your elbows up. Mobilize your scapulas. Again, think not about moving the ball with your hands. Think about mobilizing your scapulas and leading the ball with your shoulder blades. Sounds fancy, right? No, it's not fancy. It's just a key to integrative shoulder and shoulder girdle work. And that's what we want to do, is integrate the scapulas with the shoulders, with your upper extremities. We're doing more than 10 reps, obviously. We're going to 20 because we're only doing 1 halo. So we doubled our squats. How sneaky is that? This is cardio. This is conditioning. Are you out of breath? Are you gasping for air? You should be. We're working out. We're not doing full body for no reason. We're doing full body to work some aerobic capacity as well. Couple more. Oh, I don't know if that was 20, but it was probably 20. Felt like 20. Felt like 30. Okay, we got dumbbell T raises. Or in this case, weight plate T raises. All right. Elbows down, hips up, rotate and reach, rotate down. Reach and look, rotate down. Stack your shoulders at the top. And make sure that lower shoulder is not popping out of place. We don't want it jutting forward. That puts a lot of undue stress on your shoulder. So push the floor away from you. Get your 8 reps. Push the floor away from you and make sure that shoulder is right in the socket. It's called axial stability is what we're working on. Axial stability in the lower and in the upper shoulder. They're both addressing axial stability, but in a different way. The bottom shoulder is loaded by our body weight. The top shoulder is loaded by a light weight up above. 2 different ways we're working axial stability in the same exercise. How lucky are we? Oh, yeah. Oh, I like those. Well, it's not very warm out here, but I'm sure heated up now. I really like working out. I really like it a lot because afterwards, I think to myself how there's about a 1.4% chance I ever would have got up and worked out right now, especially doing the type of stuff we're doing. So, as always, I am super, super appreciative for the opportunity to train as a team because I wouldn't do this on my own. And we are at the end of the year. which means we did like 50 Saturday workouts. It's crazy. When I started in February, maybe we did like 45 Saturday workouts. That's crazy. How many times would you have worked out, not to toot my own horn, on Saturday out of those 45 times if we weren't training together? So 45 workouts, it adds up. See you next time. Happy Merry Christmas, and stay strong and go hydrate.